Hey guys, as always, it's the Digital Pumpkin Cat, and we are going to be talking about a lot of Morbid Enterprises animatronics. Now, of course, Morbid Enterprises was a fantastic company, one of the best companies of their time and to date. But they fell flat on their back with quality, with ideas, and just with overall everything. Kind of like Jemmy did. But if you ask me, Jemmy's at least making a comeback. Morbid is just flat on their back, and they will, unfortunately, always be flat on their back. And maybe someday make a return, but I really do doubt that, unfortunately. So we're going to be remembering them, and we're going to be, I guess, just saluting them and just looking over all of these props that you have forgotten over the years. All these Morbid Enterprises props are underrated, forgotten, and shouldn't be. I mean, a lot of Morbid Enterprises props, old and modern Morbid Enterprises props, are bad just to be bad and should be forgotten and never should be looked at again. But some are pretty good and should be remembered. First, we've got the I think it's like the Asylum Clown. Now this guy might look a little familiar. But I'd say you probably know him, but he's still very underrated in my opinion, and a lot of people might not. So he's kind of like the Twitching Clown. And Twitching Clown, I do like Twitching Clown. He's a very creepy clown. But I do like this guy better. But Twitching Clown gets the love he deserves. This guy does not. Again, this guy's kind of the same thing as Twitching Clown. He has a laughing audio. Not sure it's the same laughing audio, but I think he even twitches much, much faster than Twitching Clown. And he's like an asylum prop, which is always a plus. Face mold is not detailed at all, but it's a fine clown face mold, I guess. I mean, it's passable, but... And the red hair, I like how the red hair just stands out from everything on his looks. And the purple pants didn't really need it to be added, but I'm glad they did, making him like this guy was once a clown, but of course now he's in like a asylum straitjacket. And that's one of the things I really love about him. So, yeah, making him just like a crazy clown in a straitjacket going to an asylum. And I really like that. It's a great prop. Not a great prop, not perfect prop. I wouldn't really say it's even a great prop, like I just said, but definitely a good prop. Definitely better than Twitching Clown, and this guy needs to be remembered. Now, here we've got one that I bet you didn't even know existed. And it didn't. This was actually a prototype, which I probably should bring up. We are going to be talking about released ones and prototypes. Nothing like concept art. I think at least prototypes were made. They just got something wrong in the last minute and just never got released. That's what happened to, unfortunately, this guy. You know me and Jesters. I love the Jester props. We need more Jester props. This guy's color scheme is nothing to write home about, but I do like the white collars. That makes for a unique touch. The hat is really unique, too. It's not like a straight-up Jester hat. It's kind of just like a regular, maybe even, I should say, beanie with just pom-poms dangling off of it, which is really cool. This is called the Towering Jester. It's another Towering Clown prop. But again, it's a Jester, and I really do like that. You can go search up a video. His audio is pretty good, too. And his face isn't the best, but what are we expecting? I do like how he's looking down at you, like not a lot of Towering props do. So that's always a plus. And his hands look really creepy too. So yeah, that was the Towering Jester. Definitely one of my favorites that they haven't released. This one is Farmer Fred. Now, Farmer Fred, I do think is, again, another really good one. This one was released, but I don't know if anybody even bought it, even though he was like $105, which is kind of unfortunate. You guys can look up a video for all of these, but I won't be showing it to you here, since that's just how my formatting works right now. But he's of course this farmer who maybe even ripped off his own hands, but it doesn't look like his hand. It looks smaller and it has a black sleeve. So he probably just ripped off another guy's hand, and he's obviously like a cannibal, and he's like eating, I guess, limbs, and he lost his hand, and now he's tearing off other people's hands. I don't know what's that behind him. Maybe like a shovel strapped to his back, but I do think it's like a just wood dagger or wood stick just impaled into his shoulder. It's a very gory prop, very detailed, if I do say so myself. The latex does kind of look bad here. It does kind of look shiny, but I mean, again, it's very detailed. It's very gory. You even have that like slit in the top of his head and the brain sticking out. But yeah, very bulky guy, which definitely adds to the scare factor and just character overall. I definitely thought Buzzsaw the first time I saw this, and his mouth opens and of course just growls. Thank God there's no phrases or anything, and he turns side to side. So has a decent amount of animation. Yeah, definitely forgotten. Again, don't think you guys have ever seen this. Definitely should be remembered again. This one was actually Spirit Halloween's first clown prop ever. According to a lot of dates it gets pretty messy, but the oldest date dates back to like I think maybe 2006 maybe. But yeah, I think that's Spirit's official date for this one. So definitely the first clown, and everyone thinks that Jester was the first clown, but he's actually not. And yeah, this one is cool. Definitely like those blue eyes. The face mold is definitely one of the best parts about this clown. And I don't know why his hands are a different color than his face, but maybe they're gloves. I wouldn't know. Definitely great coloring here, and I love the clothes, like the polka dots and stuff. I don't know why his shoes are square, but that's kind of weird. He only moves his mouth and talks, but that's expected for back in the day. And he is pointing, so that's kind of unique about him. But, yeah, I do like this one, even though he doesn't do much, and he looks kind of strange overall. But again, this was back in the day, and this should definitely be remembered and officially be the staple of the first clown prop of Spirit Halloween's history, because it definitely was. Now we've got another one you might have never seen before. Again, all of these you probably have never seen before. But this is I don't really know what it's called, but I don't even know what it does. I couldn't even find a video. That's how unknown this thing is. This is just like the only stock image, and that's it. But I don't even know this guy's name. This guy's just like got released and then threw in the trash when they found something wrong with him, which is unfortunate, but at least they did that after they took the stock photo. And he looks like he split his tongue. Like, I know a lot of people do that. Yeah, looks like he split his tongue. That's definitely creepy. The long tongue is definitely what separates this guy from all the other clowns out there. Great face mold. Love the face. The teeth are crazy. The hands look really good. The clothes are awesome. The skull is crazy. The color scheme is epic. The rip and tear in the pants and stuff. And then he's standing on some kind of like a base that looks like a stage. I love how they're giving like the base even character. Like, it's a really great prop. And again, don't know what it does. Maybe just a static. But yeah, this one looks good, and I do really like it. Very unique clown. Now, the next one we've got is this guy named Walking Clown Teeth. Maybe Walking Clown with Teeth. The name suggests it's obviously a roaming prop. I have watched a few demos. Phrases are just bad, but what are we expecting? Mouth moves, of course, like I just said, he roams around. And I do kind of like the face on this guy. It kind of looks scary, but at the same time, it looks weird. But it is latex, so there must be, like, a lot of deformities in there. That's why it kind of looks like that, like the cheeks and stuff. But I like how this guy is kind of Halloween-y at the same time. Like, he's got the pumpkin on his purple and green hat. And he's got all the blood. The blood on his fingers and collar are definitely really great. He's got a ton of colors going on. He kind of looks like a leprechaun, if you ask me. And I think the coloring looks kind of weird, but at the same time, I do kind of like it. I do wish they could have just stayed to purple and green, but the yellow and black and red just, I guess, are fine too. But this guy's cool. Now we've got one I do really love, and this is the Swinging Headless Clown. He was released, again, not when I was shopping for all this Halloween animatronics, but this guy's really cool. Definitely want more gore on him. That's obviously a obvious customization if anybody gets this prop. Like, yeah, it's just great. Concept of just a headless swinging guy. I mean, of course, clowns swinging props don't always make sense, but I think clowns on swings definitely do, because maybe just like a circus act or something. And this guy got like somehow just his neck got slit, and yeah, now his head is off in his laps, and his color scheme is really good. Again, wish there was more gore, but I do really love the face. Definitely a creepy face. Definitely one of Morbid's best clowns. Now, I probably should warn you guys, the next props are all going to be clowns. Not until the end of the video. We definitely still have more props to take a look at, but definitely a lot of them are clowns starting now. Because, yeah, Morbid has a bunch of great clowns that either never got released and never saw the light of day, or just were forgotten. And this one never got released. It was going to be sold at Spirit Halloween, which I am so sad it didn't, because this is the Hobo Clown. His name is literally Hobo the Clown. And please, go on YouTube right now, after this video that is, and go search up Hobo the Clown if you made it this far, because I really want you guys to take a look at this demo. It's one of the best clowns if it got released. It's like a human clown. I mean, as you can see, me and human clowns. I'm not a fan of the monster clowns. I'm a fan of clowns when they're done right. And him being a human just makes him so much better. As the name suggests, he's kind of like a hobo clown, although it doesn't really show that all that well. I really wish we have a hobo clown in the industry. We might get one for 2024, but this guy's great. Love the veins, the blood, animation, the phrases are what I love the best about him. It's kind of hit or miss with phrases, and they just did it with this prop, and I really, really love him. Now, I couldn't find any videos, I couldn't find any images except this one. This is obviously like a clown ticket booth. I was almost going to go on That Neat Guy on YouTube's channel and like find the party place video that he did, because I know this guy's in there. But this guy needs to be loved more. I believe I saw a demo a long time ago. I don't know where I found that or what to type in with that, but he rocks back and forth, and his head lights up multicolors. I don't know why, but that seems to be a trend with modern Morbid. And his color scheme is weird, but the ticket booth looks really good. I love the ticket booth. And the face looks epic. I love the face. Just a really great prop. And you guys just need to remember this guy. He's great. And next we have the Asylum Nurse. Morbid Enterprises actually has two nurses actually that are both on this list, and this is one of them, being the Asylum Nurse. The clown thing, I know I said there's going to be a lot of clowns, and there are, but we have a bunch of props in the middle of it. And the Asylum Nurse, I think, is very, 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 very underrated and very good. Definitely the most underrated nurse prop of all time. The Faceless Nurse is known, but it's not really appreciated, I feel like. This thing's just, like, a lot of haunters probably have never seen it before, you know? But, Miss Mercy gets her love, Convulsing Nurse definitely gets the love she deserves. But this is, I think, a really, really gory nurse in the, like, just a bunch of nurse props. 'Cause, like, of course you got that ripped off hand there. That's really gory. The apron's pretty bloody. I do wish there was, quite more blood on the front, but I'll take it. The hands are pretty gory. The face is really gory. Even the hat is gory. Just a lot of gore on this prop. And of course, if you don't know what it does, you probably don't, but it like lunges back and forth, not in a jump scare matter. You know that type of animation, but while like, moving its hand so it's almost like she's trying to reach you. Kind of like Guard Zombie from Lowe's and all that stuff. But yeah, she's a really cool prop and really gory too. And like the gore and the animation, and I definitely do think the clothing, since it's pretty unique, like the blue and stuff, definitely set her apart from the other nurse props out there, and just a really great nurse in general. I wouldn't say one of my favorite nurses, because I just adore all the nurse props we got, like all those four nurse animatronics. I know there's Sunstar and Pack in there, but we don't really count them. But yeah, this one's really cool. Don't know why. It's very underappreciated. Now here's the next nurse. We've got the faceless nurse. I definitely do like this one better than the other nurse. It's just, what can I say about it? I kind of wish there was a little more gore on it. There's just a few spots, but the knife is fairly gory. But it just looks very realistic, as you can see here. I think at one point they were calling this thing the sexy nurse, but for this video I'm gonna call it the faceless nurse, since that's what a lot of people call it. That's what it also says on the box, but again, for a good period of time, that S word was actually said on the box. But the face is just, again, the best part about this prop. Spot on, like something happened to the face, or like she's mutating, and it's just great. The teeth, the eyes, it's crazy. It really is a great prop. And again, the structure is really realistic. The nurse outfit is pretty generic, but what else could you really do with a nurse outfit? And it's really great. It's like an all plastic blow molded build, so that's really great to give it the structure it has. So yeah, this is a really great and underappreciated prop, and yeah, it definitely should get more love. Next, we've got, I just think this is called the Straitjacket Man, the Asylum Man, Straitjacket Man. In this guy's motion, go look up a demo if you don't know what he does, because it's crazy. How fast he, like, lunges. Again, he has that lunging forward and then lunging, going back again. Again, kind of like the Guard Zombie and Nurse we just took a look at. But it's much faster. I don't want to say professional level fastness, because then that would be like pneumatics and stuff, and I really don't think you can compete with those, but it's definitely really fast for a retail animatronic, I'm saying. And it's you can tell this guy's been doing stuff either to him or other people, because all that gore on his vest. And I do like the blue pants, they really stand out. His face is definitely the best part about this. Morbid, even modern Morbid does a good job with the face sculpts. And now we've got Bella the Ball. Now, a lot of people who do know this prop are saying this is like a knockoff of Morning Glory. Since it did come after Morning Glory, that could definitely most likely be true. I'd like to think of it as having inspiration for Morning Glory, or even not anything having to do with Morning Glory, because it's like a whole different prop in my opinion. Instead of a jump scare, it just spins the umbrella. It's a little too static, but it was going for like $105 at retail, and yet no one bought this thing. I don't know what happened with Morbid's props. I don't know why people aren't buying this thing, because it looks really good. The clothing looks very detailed. I don't know about the quality, but I'm just basing off looks. The face is obviously supposed to be a skull. this is what I've been debating. I think it's supposed to be a skull, maybe like Day of the Dead, where they like paint their face to look like a skull, because that's definitely what it looks like. Because I mean, you've got the ears and stuff. I'm going for that because it's a very cool concept. If so, and again, just very detailed. Not really with the face, just with the clothing and stuff. The face, again, if they're trying to make it look like face paint, is really good. Purple umbrella really stands out from the prop and really makes it pretty iconic. But I don't know why this thing is kind of trashed on and just forgotten, lost to time, and weird because it was like made 2016 to 2017, so not the oldest prop in the world out of all of these, but it's definitely a very underappreciated prop. Next, we've got one of my favorites on the list, Nosferatu. You guys 100% did not know that Morbid Enterprises made a Nosferatu for Spirit Halloween. I didn't know until actually a year ago that this thing was ever made. The audio's kind of weird, I'll give it that, but everything else is fantastic. The clothing is just so detailed, and the face is really well done. Same with the hands, and of course, as you can see those arrows there, he moves his hands. I think he turns his head, maybe even lunges. I don't know really what he does. I should have looked at the demo, but you guys can go do that right now because I don't really have any clue. But this looks very similar to the Distortions Unlimited one. So, I mean, if you really wanted a Nosferatu, I'm not trashing Distortions. Distortions is the best company to date. But, I mean, if this thing was still available on the market for maybe $200 or $100, and you want a Nosferatu, I'd say go with this one because it's just really great. And again, kind of blurs the line between Distortions and Morbid because this thing is awesome. Alright, you guys probably all know the face-ripping clown, but the face-ripping groom is a very underappreciated one. Even though it's very, very generic, I still think the concept is great and definitely works better than the clown because, I mean, the clown was just taking off its face to be scary. This guy is kind of just kneeling on the ground, maybe crying, sobbing. That's why he has his hands over his eyes. I think this was actually the first. That's why it's the original idea, and then it got reskinned into a clown, which we all know and probably love. But the skull on both the clown and this guy is pretty weird, but everything else is pretty good and definitely not such a jump scare, but definitely a surprise. And I do like the long hair. It adds to the prop. And again, it's just a generic prop, but it works. Next, we've got one that wasn't released, unfortunately. We've got the Morbid Enterprises Joker. I'm a pretty big fan myself of the Joker character from Batman. Not so much the franchise, if I'm being honest, but the character of Joker is great. This one, they didn't, dedicate it to a specific movie, I don't think, but they just kind of made their own Joker, and I think it works really well, except the British accent. Go watch a demo. It has that lunging animation. I'm gonna call it leaning since it's not jump scare-ish, but the leaning animation works, and it turns its head, and that's basically all it does. But I don't really see why this guy never got released. Quality issues maybe, but it's just such a perfect animatronic in my opinion. Couldn't have done a little more, but for what it is, I think it's great. Here we've got the merry-go-round clown. Of course, this is one of these things at a playground, and there's a little clown on it with a cleaver, so that's really cool. Do you think he spins? Looks kind of strange in my opinion, but he's cool and definitely underrated. We've got a very similar one, which I don't really know why is all plastic. Morbid's kind of making it hard on themselves with that, but they shouldn't have just gone with regular clothing because it would look better too. But I mean, this is obviously a Wheel of Death, and they're throwing knives at him, as you can tell by the knife in his leg, which doesn't have any gore, but I do like that face, and I do like this prop. It's a very nice prop and definitely underrated. Alright, we've got another prototype, and this one I think is just called the Vampire Woman. Now, I don't know what she does. I'm in a spot doing this where I can't really just hop on YouTube and look up a video real quick, because that'll kind of screw everything up. So sorry about that, but I think she maybe even leans back and forth or turns her head. Those wings definitely flap, but you can go look up the demo video. The chest does kind of look weird, if I'm being honest. I really don't know why they would do that. Just, again, seems pretty weird, but everything else, I mean, the chest is, let's be honest, probably why it's a prototype. The hands look really creepy. Everything looks great. The clothing, the wings. Actually, the wings could use a little bit of work instead of just being that black fabric. They could have paid attention more to it, but the head looks really good too. I really do like that head. Very creepy, and the blood is always a good touch. And of course, it looks like she's levitating in the dark, so that's a really cool detail too, especially if she's rocking back and forth. So yeah, that's really cool, and it does look like a pretty big prop, and it's kind of a shame that this never got released, although for that chest area. Next, we've got a pretty similar one, and it is a prototype too, believe it or not. Seriously, the chest area with these female props are kind of weird. I'm not shaming anything or anyone, but it's just weird why Morbid Enterprises did that. I mean, I want to see these two props. I just think they didn't release it probably because of the chest area, but I mean, they kind of need to change that. I just wish they did and released it. They kind of went with quality issues and just scrapped them both. But yeah, the designs are definitely weird around the chest with these. But here we've got the Medusa, and as you can see in her face, the face is really unique. The face is like, first of all, it's really creepy, and that third eye on her forehead is really nice. And her hair, like other Medusas that we've seen, we have got one other Medusa prop from Jemmy, but her hair is like not snake-like, and there's just 3 snakes setting up the top of her forehead, so that's unique. Her clothing is really great. The red, green, black, and purple color scheme is awesome. But that green is coming from an actual snake tail, as you can see over there. And it looks epic. That looks so long, and it's probably why she never got released too. Because I'm assuming that's an inflatable. So this would kind of be like a Mr. Punchy or Ghost Girl thing, where it's like half inflatable, half animatronic. There was another one that's very underrated, but that one is underrated, and it's just bad. So I didn't include it on this list. This is for underrated props I want to see make a return too. Or not making a return, just if they're a prototype, maybe come back. But again, that won't happen. Or that I really like. But yeah, the bad ones just stay out of this list. Here we've got Psycho Syringe. You kind of may recognize this guy as Dagger Mike. That's what I did too. I kind of want to say the inspiration for Dagger Mike. Because this guy is very, very underrated. And he is a really great prop, in my opinion. You've got that classic Morbid Enterprises Asylum coat or jacket. And that looks great. I'm glad they added that on there. The face looks really, really good, too. Like a scarier version of Dagger Mike, or Dagger Mike if he was supposed to be human. Which, I mean, he's supposed to, but he looks more like a toy to me. Which he is. He's an animatronic. But the non-pupilled eyes look really good here. And, like, the mouth, he has that, blood marks on each side. So, like, selling the illusion that, I guess, they put a rope to his mouth. And he does have a lot of other scabs. And he has that, crying in his makeup. That looks good. The knives look really good. He has another one in his other hand. And he just sort of has, slashing movement with that hand, but really slowly. I think that adds to the creepy factor, and his mouth moves, and I think it turns. So yeah, really cool prop, and it's a shame this thing just got very underrated. It did get released, but I don't think anyone bought it. Now, we have one that you may know, which is the Morbid Enterprises mannequin made for Spirit Halloween. What can I say about this guy? He's just so creepy. Again, if I had a choice of like a giant clown with teeth or like a death stalker creature that's like maybe 10 feet tall right up in your face and the proportions are huge, and this creepy old mannequin, which one would be scarier? I'd pick this one. This one is just great all around. You guys know what he does by now, I think. Just a very underrated prop. The animation is so creepy. The head is very creepy, literally just being like an uncanny human head, which is what mannequins are. And the arm missing is great. The rusty feeling is great. It really looks old. My only complaint is that you can see the mech in there, but I don't know how else they would do it. So I guess it's kind of supposed to look like that since it's a mannequin, but it looks really great and very realistic too. And I love the voice and animation. Now we've got Chopping Brock. Chopping Brock is a very great prop. And he does kind of look like Farmer Fred, which we took a look at earlier in this video, but Chopping Brock, I think, is better. I think, just head moves side to side and he turns his mouth. Maybe he has that arm animation with the knife, but you guys will have to look up a demo. His apron is very, very bloody, very gory prop. And that face is great too. I don't really know why one half of the face is white and the other isn't. I don't know what's happening there. But I do really like it. The head sculpt is awesome. I think it's the same as Farmer Fred, but tweaked, as you can see here. And there's a lot of blood on it too. Knife, there's a lot of blood on. I don't know why he has no legs though. That's definitely an issue, but it's still a really great prop. Alright guys, and that was it for this video. I know it was pretty long, but I had a lot to go through and a lot of props that I personally think are very, very good and very, very underrated. So thanks for watching, and as always, it's the Digital Pumpkin Cat. Like and subscribe. And yeah, please, if you can and if you want to, post about these props. Please make little shorts, or just do something to remember these guys, or just personally remember them, because I think these props really deserve their place in the community.